morning. We're going to Columbia Ice Field today. Gonna do adventure. Gonna go sightseeing on the mountains and taking pictures.
Huwag magtapon yung ticket dito ha. Ano yung bilang?
Wow! So nice. Ganda na dito. Ayun, ang ganda oh.
Kaya pala. Send mo lang sa akin yung mga picture ko. Diba mag-delete mo yung akin?
Okay guys, see the background. It's a view. Ice field.
In 1 kilometer, arrive at Columbia Ice Field Adventure on the left.
Ganda oh. View no?
Ayun, nakita niyo yung
Ice field, Columbia Adventure. Finally arrived. We're gonna park here, Daddy. Welcome, Benvenue. Jasper National Park.
Sleeping for an hour, but then
Look at the view. Look at that.
Ayun o.
Turn right on 93.
We finally arrived at Columbia Ice Field Adventure. See the view, guys. Some mountains. So we're gonna go that place, the white stuff over there. Going up to the ice field. Inside sa Starbucks. Okay, go, Josh, go. Here, Glacier Skywalk. Dad. Entering now. Going to the bus station. Store here for souvenir. I'm gonna go there later. Explore Rockies. In Canada. So here's the bus. Chicken in.
Indicate C.
Thank you.
Thank you, have fun.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Hello, the bus station.
Alright everyone, if you look to your left to your 9 o'clock position, you'll be able to see Ripple Lake. Ripple Lake is a spring-fed lake, which means the bottom never gets below 4 degrees Celsius. Ripple Lake gets its name from the ripples that appear on top of the lake due to the frequent winds in the area. And if you look to your left, you'll be able to see. If you look to your left, you'll be able to see a building that has a small green rooftop on it. That's a maintenance shed for maintaining the water quality. Sub-Alpine Eco Region and the Alpine Eco Region. The Montane Eco Region is at the lowest elevation, has the highest temperature, highest wildlife population, and most biodiversity. The Sub-Alpine Region is at least 900 meters in elevation and is populated primarily by ungulates and deciduous trees. And the Alpine region is at least 2,000 meters in elevation and is the coldest of the 3 ecoregions and is populated only by plants and animals that are adapted to the conditions of living there, such as mountain goats and golden eagles.
Maria, pagbabago ng bus, bababa tayo tapos maliwanag.
Bababa tayong maglalakad?
Oo, mas lilipat tayo ng sasakyan.
Up to the mountain, that's the bus. The same as our bus. All ready to go. That's our bus, the same bus as we're riding. Off we go to the mountain. Rocky Mountain.
See there. Oh, you guys, there you go. See, you're my unicorns. We don't get you very often. You're very unique. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys all had a wonderful journey, a gorgeous drive up the Icefields Parkway today. I'm also originally from Ontario. This is my 3rd season here at the Columbia Icefields, my 4th year in Alberta. I can't get enough of the mountains. I keep coming back. So we're all going to go on an adventure together today out onto the Athabasca Glacier river that is being fed by a giant frozen lake. So our Columbia Icefields is the frozen lake. It sits at about 3,000 meters elevation, which means it's very high up in the mountains, so it has its own microclimate, basically meaning any water vapor that is hanging out in the atmosphere up near the icefields automatically turns into snow, and then through the process of vertification into glacial ice. So did you guys learn about vertification at all on your way up? No, you didn't? Alright, I'll go over it. So vertification is the process in which glacial ice is formed. So it takes a very, very long time and a lot of snow to hang around throughout the year. So we have to start with at least 10 meters of snow. That snow has to stay there throughout the season, have fresh snowfall on top of it, and compress it down. And then even as it warms through the summer months, it has to continue to sit up there in the mountains until the next season to have more snowfall on top of it. So you need at least 10 meters of snow to make 1 meter of glacial ice. And it takes about 5 years for one snowflake to turn into a piece of glacial ice. So you can imagine how old these glaciers are. We are very young in their presence. They have been around for about 15,000 years since the Wisconsin Ice Age. One glacier right next door of this one, we have Dome Glacier, which is the frozen waterfall coming down. Then of course the gorgeous Athabasca, and about 10 minutes up the road, ice fields. And it travels for about 10 kilometers across into BC and 20 kilometers south and north up the Icefields Parkway and up the back sides of the mountains. So it's just a giant frozen desert of rolling hills of snow and ice. Would have driven your cars up here today, parked in that parking lot, and hopped on that bus. So as you can imagine, all of that infrastructure has been torn up by the lateral moraines movements in less than 10 years. So it is constantly moving and changing. Along with that, when we come back here in April, our road has completely disappeared on us. It doesn't look like there had ever been a road in its place prior to that.
500,000.
So our tires cost about $4,500 each. And we switch them out about every 3 years so that they are tip-top shape to maneuver this ice road. So it costs about $27,000 to switch over all 6 of our tires. Alright, so has anybody ever been on a glacier before? Yeah, you have? Which one? The canyon. That is about 290 meters deep. So that'll give you a really good visual of the
Water,
thickness
guys.
of the ice that you're going to stand
Water
on today.
You can drink it.
So we are currently heading through our tire wash. We do this so that we can get all of the dirt and debris off of our tires so we don't bring it out onto the glacier. Because as you can tell, it's already got quite a lot of that. That is something called cryokinite. So the wind picks up dirt, dust, CO2, and particularly right now ash particles, and they land on the surface of the glacier. And we've all heard of the albedo effect before. Even if you've never heard of the term, I'm sure you've worn a black shirt on a hot day and definitely regretted it. It is the same as how the sun is affected, or the glacier is affected by the sun's light. So the snowy white parts of the glacier reflect back about 80% of that sun's heat into the atmosphere, whereas the dark parts, the parts with cryokinite, absorb about 80% of that heat and melts a lot faster. So of course we don't want to add to that process, because that natural process is already getting worse because of the forest fires and the CO2 in our atmosphere. So I'm sure you've seen some people walking around on the glacier. Don't worry, they're on a guided tour. They're not out here on their own. We never recommend your own glacial travel. So those guys are traveled in glacial travel training, crevasse and millwall, and avalanche rescue. So they know what they're doing, breaking people out on the glacier. They do 3-hour hiking tours up to about where we're heading today, and 6-hour hiking tours all the way up to those second ice stairs. So while we're on the surface of the glacier here, you can see that gorgeous turquoise color coming through. So that happens because of fermentation. So snow has about 90% air in it. Ice in our freezer has about 50% air in it. And glacial ice is left with only 10% oxygen. So it is a very compressed ice cube.
That's the water, guys. See? It's water from the side. The glacier.
We're coming up to our turnaround point here. Just a few things I'll go over. We have area boundary signs around the outside of our glacier. If you can please stay within those, because of those glacial hazards that we want to keep you safe and away from. Along with that, if you could please stay in front of all of our ice explorers.
Guys, we are finally here at Glacier at the Gasrati. So many people today exploring the mountains and the glacier. Tara, dati.
Kayo ka lang.